You want to look for these special patterns, they're going to make you some money. How about Puka shells? You want $10 for it. I'm shocked at that. Will be very, very desirable in years coming. So everyone's saying, they don't have any value, they don't have any value. You're wrong. This one is really unusual and rare. Another pattern that you might be surprised to see. Notice the color of the tag for the additional discount. It's Dr. Lori. I'm at Liberty Ministries Thrift Store in Montgomeryville, Pennsylvania, north of Philadelphia. I'm going to show you what to pass by and what to buy. This platter is characteristically English transferware. Landscape image in the middle, which I like, and of course the decoration around the edge. There's an English mark here, made in England. They want $16.99 for it. The damage is what would hold me back. In good condition, it's $175 without the chip or the damage. They want $16.99 for this. It's worth $50. Bohemian glass decanters. I always tell you to buy decanters because decanters resell very well, as does much barware. With the original stopper, make sure the stopper actually fits. $24.99 for this decanter. Retail value on it $55. Pyrex, Pyrex, Pyrex. A lot of people collecting Pyrex, and I showed you in another video a lot of the different patterns of Pyrex. You want to look for these special patterns because they sell quite well. Right on the bottom, you can see how they're marked. They also have the inset handles, but this one happens to have a crack. They want $5.99 for this one. So that's low for this piece. This piece is worth about $25. The smaller one, they want $9.99 for this one, and value on this piece is about $35. Beanie Baby knockoffs. If they're knocking off Beanie Babies, then the Thai Beanie Babies that they're knocking off must have value. So everyone's saying, they don't have any value, they don't have any value. You're wrong. The real thing, they have value. This one is hand painted in Japan. And then it's got a couple of the fruit bowls that go with it. $8.99. You can see the Japanese mark as well. Retail value on this $20. So this I would not walk by. This piece is Schnierenschnitte, which is the art of paper cutting. It's Father Christmas. Let's see what they want. I like the oak frame. Uh-oh, I just dropped something. $4.99, I'm breaking the place. Value on it, $125. These pieces, a lot of people look for them. They are trying to look like Jasperware, like Wedgwood ware. These are glasses, of course, and they're decals. And a lot of these 1960s decal glasses are what folks are collecting right now for barware. $4.99 each. They're worth $10 each. This plate is a Quimper plate from France. It's French faience ware, which is a type of china. Notice the symbol of the rooster. The rooster is a very well-known symbol of women's dominance, so you usually see roosters as symbols and decorations in kitchens. It's $14.99. That's what they want for it, worth $30. Well, it looks like Wedgwood. Transferware, the dogs. The dogs are going to be popular, and they're going to make you some money. Yes, it is Wedgwood, and marked as such. And they want $8.99. That's great for this. Transferware, good condition, value on that $30. This Pyrex covered casserole dish will be very, very desirable in years coming. Why? Because notice this is a very 1970s pattern where it has all of these colonial objects on it. You know, the old oil lamp and the eagle and the coffee grinder. It has the original top. They put the label right over where the mark is, but this is Pyrex, $16.99. That piece is worth $70. Asian, of course, in terms of the design, you can see the Japan right there on the sticker. It does have some crazing. $19.99 for it. That's retail. It's worth about 20 bucks. I like for the hand painting, and I like the actual form of it. The two handles were gilded at one point. There's a little bit of loss area. You can see that this is hand painted Nippon. The Nippon mark, particularly a green Nippon mark, is going to be desirable. Porcelain, hand painted, early 1900s. What do they want for it? $16.99. Value on this piece is $70. This is the piece that a lot of people look for, Italian, made in Assisi, right, the city of Assisi. It is earthenware ceramic, low fired at a low temperature, accruet. The top is missing. They want $39.99 for this. Retail value on this is closer to $65. Another pattern that you might be surprised to see. Now the problem here is, of course, look at the lack of coloration. That's going to be the problem with this particular piece. $24.99, too high for that. So I'd put that one back. So from right there, from what we know from the other videos, you should look at that and go, that's English, that's Staffordshire. Probably made in Stoke-on-Trent. Why? Look at the figures. If you haven't recognized the dogs, you should recognize them as English Staffordshire dogs. Here's a figure with the harp, the dogs, unmarked typically. These Staffordshire pieces can be unmarked. They're highly recognizable by the figures themselves. And this one's big. They want $9.99. I want $10 for it. I'm shocked at that. Value on this piece, $85. Typical of the 1960s, when we wanted to decorate our homes in an exotic way, in the ways of faraway lands, like, of course, Japan. So you see this piece, unmarked. Look at the chalky nature of the underside. Low quality ceramic. So you usually will think, okay, should be low numbers for this. $8.99. It's probably worth about $5. Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy, they're melamine, plastic. A lot of people like these, but I would leave those there. You have this Noritake bone china piece. I'll show you the mark first, and then I'll show you why I like it. Coloration, again, of the flowers. The different colors of the pink. The interior is also glazed. When you see high quality, the interior will be glazed. So look for that. This is bone china. What does that mean? Bone ash has been added to the kaolin mixture. So that's why we call it bone china, right? Not just regular china. $19.99 for that vase. This vase is not worth $20, it's worth $45. You got a ghost, you know what to do. You need an appraisal, you know who to call. I love this for a lot of reasons. I do see the chip. It's Royal Doulton Burlesome. This is the early Royal Doulton, established in the late 1800s. It moves to Lambeth as well. Look at the fox hunt figure on it. Here's the other side. Here's the chip. So now let's see what the price is. $49.99. Without the chip, if this were in perfect condition, $80. Early 1900s pitchers like this one without the wash bowl. So imagine the wash bowl, it's not there anymore. It's called ironstone, also known as farmer's china. I like the coloration on this one. I would buy it. I wouldn't pass by it. The mark is a typical mark here at the bottom. The label says $14.99, so that's a very good price for this. Value on this piece closer to $70. Look at the English handle. I told you about different handles. This is an English mug, King George V and his wife, Queen Mary. George V is the grandfather of Queen Elizabeth II, so that's how far back we're going. This coronation mug was from 1911, a good example of a royal collectible. They want $44.99 for that. Value on this piece is $75 retail. This mirror was in somebody's foyer. How do I know? The symbol of hospitality. You see the pineapple here? That means welcome. This piece dates from the 1950s. They want $24.99 for it. What's it worth? $75. I think it's adorable. Look at this. Humpty Dumpty on the wall. Solid wood. Dates from the 1970s. They want $8.99. That piece will sell at $70. Need a vacuum and some dust? Oh, there's a weed whacker just in case your rug gets out of control. Old suitcases, I travel a lot. I'd leave all those there. And what I'd buy is I'd buy this, I'd buy that one, I'd buy this one. I'd put them on their side, lay them down, stack them up, put a piece of glass, a side table for the dining room. It's a good home decor idea on the cheap. Silver plated. Sheffield is silver plate, and it will be clearly marked on the back of these pieces. This set is a fish serving set, and whenever you see a fork that looks like this shape, it's not dessert. This shape indicates that you're going to actually eat a piece of fish. On the back it says Sheffield silver plate. That's what you're looking for. Why? Sheffield, England is the premier location for the best silver plate. Typically, silver plate's not worth all that much, but if it's Sheffield silver plate, it's worth more and it's highly collectible. They want $12.99 for it. Retail value on it is $50. Perfume bottles from the 1940s to the 1950s, that's what this is. Notice how big the stopper is. It's frosted glass. It's quite heavy, so that's one of the telltale signs. $19.99, so they want $20 for it. These easily resell in the $50 range. A lot of this jewelry is trying to look like the 1970s or 1980s, but it was made maybe 10 years ago. 1970s style, lots of beads, multi-strands, metallics. That's big for the 70s. Wood also very big for the 1970s look. At $4 a necklace, these necklaces are about $10 each. Same thing with multi-strand bead. They want $8 for it. It's worth $10. The ones that I really like are the ones that look like the 1980s. How about puka shells? Do you remember the puka beads? The puka shell beads that we wore all summer in the 1980s. This is the knockoff, $4 for this necklace that was made recently. Value on that necklace about $10. Wonderful blue melon type of plastic beads here, but these are stone. So if you hold them and they're cold, you know that it's stone. The $6 necklace here comes from the 1970s, and retail value on that one is $20, so this one's a winner. This one I really like, even though it's trying to look like these metallic 1990s designs of Tiffany. This is a knockoff too. They want 8 for that. I would say value on that is closer to 12. This lamp, 1960s, trying to look like an earlier lamp from the 1880s. It's hand painted on glass. Well, the shade matches, we have to get around it to see it. Bear with me, I don't want to break anything. $39.99. Well, for a new lamp, you probably would be paying about that. I would say that that's about retail. So I would pass by that. $10 for a 1960s ceramic figure knick-knack. Came in a pair, so you only have one. This one, 10 bucks. What's it worth? 10 bucks. Remember, all the values I give are based on actual sales records where a similar piece has sold recently. The Wedgwood crystal clock is marked right in the center of it. It's a classic look for the clock. I like the fact that it's heavy, weighty. Crystal, of course, has lead content, which makes it heavy and very clear. They want $24.99 for it. So I'm guessing that it's in working condition. You want to make sure that it does work. Retail value on that is $50. The Dietz lantern, a lot of people collect these old lanterns, of course, with the patinated metal. And make sure that you have the original glass globe. If you have a replacement, not worth as much. $16.99 is what they want for that. Value on this, about $45. Old sleds. These are the ones that you can steer. Poor condition, when you leave them outside, the poor condition decreases value significantly. But the American Flyer here in good condition, no rust, retail value on that, 70 bucks. These are very desirable. Lots of people look for them. Rose quartz, jadeite, Asian pieces from the late 20th century. This one is really what I would look for. You look for the size, you look for the different types of leaves and the different types of flowers. You want $19.99 for this one. That one's worth $45, $14.99. Now that one has some losses, so that one's worth about $35. This one is really unusual and rare where you're seeing, of course, the blossoms. Typically you just see flowers. In this case, you're actually seeing plum blossoms on this one, $12.99. Value on that one's $40. How about the late 1960s, early 1970s? I'm going to call it clock sconce thing. Kind of a vignette here. One of the things it says it's the late 60s, early 70s is this shape, right? The marquee shape with the inset tiles. $75 for the whole piece. Retail value on that $125. Ceramic piece, Asian inspired, but this piece is made in Germany. $12.99 for that is too high for that piece, so I'd pass by that. I met a lot of fans today. They were really nice. I told you I'd find treasures. There's more to come.